Rebound machines are a machine where you can shoot the ball as long as the ball lands within the net.
It's all automated,
You don't have
meaning
to
you don't have to have somebody standing there.
Correct. Even when I was playing serious, it was hard to get access to those sorts of machines. You know, only the big clubs had them.
Just mentioned that now you've got some competitors. How do you compete with that?
We try and put a big focus on what we're doing. So focus on what we can control. You might learn things from those other businesses and what they do and how they do it.
So are you finding that now also with basketball, where families, so parents and also kids themselves, are realising they have to put in that extra work?
Definitely. I mean, if you're going to just your team training and playing your games, that is the bare minimum you can do. And a lot of people that come to us don't actually have a lot of time. So they come in and they say, look, we want to do some extra training. Like, no worries, this is what we can provide you.
Now, I've been to your facility, so I know how fucking awesome it is. Can you explain all the different services that you offer?
Yeah, look, we've got 12 basketball rings in there. It's a full court. We do group training sessions. That's probably the number one thing we do, group training. Definitely we've got adults that come through and do training sessions. One roof there, trying to make it a one-stop shop, I guess.
The information provided is for general information and educational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. You should consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment or financial decisions.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Scottie G Show. Today we're doing something a little bit different. Like I mentioned in previous pods, we're going to be talking about all sorts of different diverse conversations and talking about different businesses and different entrepreneurs. This one holds a special place in my heart, being a diehard basketball fan back in the 90s and trying to make it to the NBA when I was 11 years old. Today I have one of the owners of Ball 360 with me today, Steven Haddrell.
Thank you for having me, mate.
Welcome to the pod.
Appreciate it, thank you.
You're sounding a little bit croaky today.
Yeah, don't know, just woke up this morning and voice has left me a little.
Your voice would have been perfect, and then the day you got to do a podcast, it's all over.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. Can't be helped.
So, tell my viewers a little bit about yourself before we start talking about Ball 360, a little bit of your history and...
My history, I guess, obviously high school and then moved on to university, a couple of years there, studying management, human resources and marketing. At the same time, started working in the family business. Just gaining experience there, I guess. Was there roughly 20 years, close enough, on and off sort of thing. So did a bunch of jobs there. Everything from, cleaning toilets, filling gas bottles, doing deliveries, customer service.
But that's where it all starts, right? Like, you got to learn everything.
Definitely, I'm looking at our staff and they got to do the same sort of thing. I mean, you just got to get a feel for everything, and when you first start working, you just got to whatever you can do to, I guess, fit in and contribute to the business. So
sorry to cut you off. One thing I found with my own personal experiences when I was working in family business, I also worked out what I didn't want to do. So when I started off working in the factory, I did that, and then it was like, yeah, I don't want to work in the factory anymore. Hence when I started moving to sales and more business administration style.
Definitely agree with that. Like, I was lucky enough to do so many different roles, and like you said, there were a few that I could mark out really quickly that I was not keen on doing long term. And I admire the people that actually did it. It's not easy to come in and do.
But super valuable to know all the tasks.
Needs to be done. You've still got to put the products out and the services out. So, but I definitely looked at those, like you said, and just went, don't think I could do that day in, day out. But yeah, I experienced it. Did marketing, did a little bit of human resources. I ran a small division for a little while, purchasing, and it gave me an angle on all sorts of different things within the business, I guess. And I knew early that I wanted to run my own business one day. Coming out of high school, that's why I went to university, and management was my major. It's what I wanted to do. I guess when you're a little bit younger, you don't always know exactly where you want to go. But that was always the dream, I guess. And I was lucky enough to follow that sort of path. And within my family business, they gave me opportunities that I probably wouldn't have got anywhere else. And they persisted with me and supported me was probably the biggest thing. there's a lot of roles that I probably wasn't ready for. And even when they asked me to do them, I was thinking, am I the right guy to do this? And can I do it?
And gaining respect from your colleagues as well, because you don't want to be known as the guy that got the job because he's part of the family. You want to be respected. You want to know that you were given that role because you're capable, and then earning their respect as well.
Definitely. I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, that probably happened quite a lot, I guess. Even self-doubt, I guess, at times where you question whether you should be in there. Are they just doing it because I am part of the family? But they supported me, and that was the biggest thing. I had a network of people that I could just call or rely on, and I was allowed to ask questions and encouraged to ask questions. They just supported me every step of the way. It gave me different avenues on different things, and I think all that led to this opportunity of running my own business with others involved, and just managing that on a day-to-day basis and going through all the challenges of trying to get that off the ground. That Supergas experience was something I'll never forget. And I treated it like it was my own business, I guess, and it was my dad and his brothers that started that business. And I enjoyed it every step of the way. Look forward to taking some of those challenges, into this business as we still continue to grow.
So how long has Ball 360 been operational now?
Well, we opened in 2023, March. We were due to open significantly earlier. So just over 2.5 years, close enough to.
There's never construction delays. That never happens.
No, well, you had COVID in the middle there, which is
on top of it.
Unprecedented times. So it just, I became unhappy at my job at Supergas there, and I wanted to. You effectively spend about a third of your life working, and I'd been telling my staff, lots of staff over the years that didn't enjoy their job. I said, look, if you don't enjoy it here and you don't want to work here, it's a lot of time to do it. So you should go out and do something you want to do, something you're happy about, where you're going to not hate rolling out of bed in the morning to go to it. So I then had to take my own advice, and after a period of time where I just wasn't happy, hadn't even sort of discussed it with my wife, I guess, and I went in and resigned right there that day. It all went downhill really quick, but I was definitely in that mind frame where I'd had enough and it was time for me to seek something else where I was going to be happier. Mm-hmm. And Ball 360 was sort of going along slowly in the background.
Yep. So it was always the idea that that's what you wanted to move into?
Yeah, definitely. Like Johnny had travelled overseas in July of 2019.
Yep.
Right after our daughter was born, Jordan. They went over as a family on a basketball trip. Very common. You tour, play games, do that sort of stuff. They went to a few basketball facilities over there, and Johnny just came back and he's amazed at some of the places and just said, why don't we have it anything?
As in training facilities?
Yeah, training facilities. Heaps of rings and group sessions and shooting machines and technology we hadn't even seen yet in Australia. So he came back and he's like, we need a place like this. And he came up in discussions with us. I said we'd be interested. Basketball's been a passion of mine since I was sort of 6 or 7 years old, and wanted to do it. So it was kind of going along on the sidelines, I guess, while we all still had our primary jobs. And then once I sort of resigned, Johnny was stoked. Kay wasn't obviously thrilled, but his point of view, he was saying that now that's going to become my focus, is to try and get that off the ground. But COVID just changed absolutely everything. So I thought I was going to be, I'd take a couple of months off. The fit out would start and we'd be rolling. And I ended up being out of work for over 2 years. KA had to go back to work. I was at home with the kids a little bit more than I ever thought not a negative thing at all. But
COVID did that.
Yeah, it did. It did. So it just changed everything. And even in terms of the progression, we thought we were going to open the same month our second child, Brooklyn, was born. I was like, okay, that's not great timing. But we'll make it work as best we can. We're putting in plans. What are we going to do? How are we going to manage it? All right, okay, I'll be off for a little while. And then Brooklyn ended up being sort of like almost 15 months old when we opened. It was one problem after another. we'd signed an agreement to lease the factory, and the guys building it. I mean, the concrete panels just didn't show up for 7 months.
Yeah.
And I'm there still working on things in the background, but there's only so much you can do. I'm organising flooring and rings and all sorts of things, but it just, it was a lot of time, and no one told me it's going to be 2 years. If someone had come to me and said that, no worries.
Yep.
I'll go find another job.
Yeah.
It's like, little delay here, and then just looking at the clock going.
And there's a lesson in that, isn't there, for the viewers that maybe are thinking about starting their own business, is it's one thing to have your idea and start to plan that execution, but selecting the time to, whether it be quit a job or change a business or whatever it may be, just be aware that not everything will always go to plan.
That is some important advice right there. So yeah, if you are doing something on the side while you're doing your primary job, just make sure your timeline's going to work. It never goes as smoothly as you think it will. And the whole process, I mean, I thought it was going to be hard. I really did. Being in business for a while, I knew it was going to be hard, and it was significantly harder than I thought it would be.
Yep. But there's so many factors, right?
Yeah, and you're doing so many things you don't know, and you're relying on people, which was, you're making phone calls to businesses. I mean, hospitality world was one, helped us out a lot, and you're ringing, and we don't know what we're doing, and we're relying on your skill set and information.
Little plug there. Thank you, Stevie. Thank you. Little plug for hospitality.
100%. We need, they helped us with the cafe fit out, but we had no idea what we were doing with that. And we're trying to put a small cafe in. So, and that's just one example.
Aligning yourself with people that know their area, and then that's the best way to get it all together.
100%.
But you're still dealing with so many things that are new, right?
Yeah, definitely. And just trying to put all that together and keep the process rolling. And at the same time, you've got sort of me and KA and Johnny and Tan, the four of us, getting this idea off the ground, and we're having weekly meetings or two meetings a week sometimes, just trying to discuss things. And you're talking about things you don't even know, like, how are we going to set this price point? And we're just, even earlier days coming up with the business plan and going to a financial planner, and I'm trying to describe to him what sort of customers are coming in the door and how old are they and how much money are they going to spend. And then when you go to the town planner and they say, how are they arriving? How many people are coming in a car? I'm like,
it's one thing to have the idea, and then all of a sudden all these little questions start coming up, and then you're delving into really deep into the thoughts, and then you start thinking, shit, what are we doing?
like just trying to set a price on something, and then someone's asked me how many people are going to ride their bike. I'm like, I'm not sure. And I've got to come up with numbers with it, and even getting the financial planner over the line and writing it. We all, even the four of us, sitting down together and going over the figures and trying to say, right, this is where, the sort of income we think we can earn. Our full figures, we're not close to each other.
And it's always a significant investment in the beginning. And how long are we going to go until we make money? I'm not sure. And then it's the whole process that's involved.
And COVID. So we'd spent a lot of capital to get certain things because we thought business is going to progress quickly. So we've spent a lot of money on shooting machines. We've signed a contract for flooring, and all this money's going out, and all of a sudden everything just stopped, and it just came to a grinding halt. And I still remember sitting down one day. I'm just thinking to myself, have we just kind of lost this money? Like, is this business going to open? And I can remember it vividly. I'm just thinking to myself, it's just a moment. I'm like, in 2 years' time, I'm going to have the answer to that question. But right now, I can't answer it, and I don't know if it will go ahead. But I guess it's part of the journey in anything you do. And sometimes you got to reflect on that, and you take a lot of learnings from it. I know the four of us definitely have a lot of learnings, a lot of tough times. But you progress and you build and you grow, and look, we're still got a long way to go. We're only just over 2.5 years in, so we're not exactly a successful business. At times, people will walk in and see people everywhere, but it's just a couple of hours of the night that we're busy. During the day, sometimes there's not many people coming through the door. Everyone's at school and work.
Is majority of your clientele younger age group? Or?
Definitely.
Yeah. So they're at school, right?
Yeah, definitely. So we got a lot of shooting machines, self training tools, I guess. We bought 5 of those, and we thought, this is...
Maybe explain to the listeners what those are.
Yeah, I should do that. Rebound machines, they're basically a machine where you can shoot the ball As long as the ball lands within the net, it'll come down and just throw back out to you. So, for example, you can stand at the 3-point line. You could shoot 300 to 350 shots in 30 minutes.
Yeah,
and you don't
so
have
it's
to
all
go,
automated.
You don't have
meaning
to go
you don't
chasing
have to have somebody standing there.
Correct.
The customer themselves who's doing the training is getting an experience as well.
Yeah,
So with technology, making it feel cool for them as well.
Yeah, a lot of people come in, never used one before, and
Yeah.
I know even when I was playing seriously, it was hard to get access to those sorts of machines. Only the big clubs had them, and again, you had to pay a premium to hire them, and you had to do it during work hours. So I hadn't even used one before we ordered them. So
and going back to what you said before, when Johnny was in the US, and obviously the US, when it comes to professional sports, they're at the top, and you saw a gap in the market of what Australia didn't have, and I love that because it's easy. So a lot of my customers that open up cafes, they might come out with the same old style cafe as everyone else, but it's the ones that come up with something innovative, come up with something different. They're the ones that generally start to get that momentum, because Australia hasn't seen a lot of that before.
definitely, and I mean, since we've opened, there's quite a lot of other facilities now. So basketball's, I think, the second most participated team sport in Australia, which is good, and it's growing. And one of the best things is you don't have to be outside for it. So, footy and soccer.
All the parents listening are loving that one.
Yeah, the elements. It's still cold in a basketball stadium, right? But at least you don't get rained on, I guess. So it's been good.
So you saw that there was a gap in the market, and then you've just mentioned that now you've got some competitors that have opened up, whether they're offering similar services or not. How do you compete with that? How do you constantly remain relevant? How do you keep in contact with your customers and let people know your offerings?
Yeah, look, the biggest thing for us is, and again, I rely on my past experience as Johnny and Tan and Kay do as well. We try and put a big focus on what we're doing. You're always going to have competitors. Like if you've got a good business, you won't be the only one doing it. There'll be heaps of people doing it, no matter what it is. So focus on what we can control. You might learn things from those other businesses and what they do and how they do it. But you need to focus on what you do.
Yep.
Do you do it well? And do you do it with a smile and good customer service? I think that side of it, we're not just the owners and you don't see us. You walk in, I'm coaching 10 to 12 hours a week. Johnny's coaching about 15 hours a week. You'll see me behind the reception desk. You'll see Christiane behind the reception desk. You'll see Tanya behind the reception desk. So we're all involved.
Hands on.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's a really good touch. Because when you walk in the door, you can have a conversation with someone, and we genuinely care. Not just about you coming regularly, but also how you or your kid is progressing in their games. I know a lot of the kids I coach, I've got them on my Hoops app, and I can follow their scores and how their teams are going and stuff like that.
And that's a personal touch too. That's you engaging as well with your client and actually having a genuine interest on how their improvement and how their development is going.
Definitely, and I think a lot of the coaches do that. We certainly don't make any coaches do that, but I think that is a personal touch and a care factor. And I've got, there's a couple of girls playing in a prelim tonight. There's another girl playing a grand final, so I'll be keeping tabs on that later tonight. Always wanting them to be successful and not just want them to keep back and keep training, but also to come in and have fun. And we're trying to build, I guess, a culture. Basketball's got a kind of cool culture to it. We even got a barber upstairs that kind of tries to add to that culture. We've got a strength and conditioning guy that also fits into that sort of mold, and we're just trying to build a one-stop shop where people can come and feel like they're part of the Ball 360 community and what we want to bring. I think that's probably the biggest thing. Our coaches a lot of them are still playing or coaching at a good level, and it's just about building all that together and making people feel welcome, like they walk into their local favorite takeaway store, and maybe they see the same person there on a regular basis. Same sort of thing. Just build that face-to-face relationship and feel comfortable and relaxed, and leave feeling better for it.
Yep. And I know when we were young, going up through the ranks with domestic and representative basketball, it probably isn't as it was competitive, but I think now people are understanding with any professional sport or they want to continue developing, you can't just go to your team training and go to your game day and expect that you're going to be at the level of some of these other kids that are putting in the extra work. And like my son, who's keen soccer player, he has to be putting in the extra work all the time. And I see how competitive it is now with soccer, you know, which is a new world to me because I've always come from the basketball background, but I'm seeing how competitive it is and all these different academies that are out there and all these different offerings and private coaching and causing us parents to be Uber drivers driving all over Melbourne all week. So are you finding that now also with basketball where families, so parents and also kids themselves are realizing they have to put in that extra work?
Definitely. I mean, if you're going to just your team trainings and playing your games, that is the bare minimum you can do.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that come to us don't actually have a lot of time.
Yeah.
So they come in and they say, look, we want to do some extra training. I've literally only got Mondays. Like, no worries, this is what we can provide you.
Yeah.
And then they work something out and they still come. And a lot of people will train with us on one night, then they'll still go to their team training. You know, it is crazy how much effort they put in.
Yeah.
I know growing up, I just did my domestic trainings and my games.
But it was different. I don't know, maybe
It definitely is. So everything you listed in terms of the soccer, you know, the regular training, I mean, we've got kids doing junior performance programs with a strength and conditioning coach that are for 8 to 14-year-olds, you know. Yeah. It sounds crazy that an 8-year-old's doing that sort of work, but that's, if you want to make it into a rep team or you just want to be a better player, these are the sort of things you need to do.
Yep.
And you need to come in and put in extra work. And that's the sort of stuff we provide. We're there to help you to get to where you want to get to.
Yep. Ball 360 is a place where hoopers train, play and recover like a pro athlete, no matter their age. From shooting machines and academy classes to school holiday camps and masterclasses, they are the home for players of every level. Need to recover like a pro? Jump into their recovery pools, sauna and dry compression gear to keep your body fresh and game ready. Plus, they've got casual shooting sessions, 3-on-3 tournaments, birthday parties and more, all under one roof. They're a family-run business and love being a part of a community. Come in and experience the ultimate basketball destination, Ball 360, where hoopers level up. Now, I've been to your facility, so I know how fucking awesome it is. Can you explain all the different services that you offer? So you walk in, what do you see? What are your choices? What can you do?
Yeah. Look, we've got 12 basketball rings in there. There's a full court, so we can do scrimmages, pickup games, all that sort of stuff. We do group training sessions. That's probably the number one thing we do, group training. We do both, separate them into both domestic and rep levels, trying to group the athletes together better so that everyone's getting the most out of their experience. Yeah. We do private coaching. As touched on before, we've got the shoot away machines, which are the rebound machines that throw the ball back to you. So we basically call that a self-training tool. You can come in, just book your session, 30-minute session there. You can stand in one spot. You know, older guy like me, not having to chase the basketball is wonderful. You can just stand there and work on your muscle memory. Just shoot that ball over and over from the same spot.
And you raise a good point. This facility is not just for kids. I mean, I know we're talking about kids because obviously they're the ones that are aspiring to make those rep teams and they want to keep developing. And let's be honest, they've got a lot more energy than what we do. But anyone can go.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely anyone.
Definitely. We've got adults that come through and do training sessions. We've got those guys that are sort of just finished school and transitioning out. They come in, playing in the Big V competition. They come through as well. So it's not limited to just young kids. Other services we offer on the other side is we've got recovery facilities. So we've got hot and cold pools. So the hot pool usually sits around 35, 36 with magnesium in it. Cold pool sits around 11. 5-person sauna. And we've got the compression garments as well. So hips, legs and arms. So they're probably the three main things on the recovery side. We've got a gym for strength and conditioning program there, run by Jake at Strongside Performance. We've got a barber, a hairdresser, and we've got an osteo as well. So the osteo is Jack at the Osteo Zone. So yeah, we're running all that sort of under the one
state of the art,
one roof there, trying to make it a one-stop shop, I guess.
And for the parents that are getting a bit peckish or feel like something to eat or drink,
we've got all your equipment there in the cafe. So yeah, look, we made really good use of the space. I'd like it to be a little bit better, but you've only got what you've got.
Yep.
So we made it work pretty good.
Yep.
We try and offer not just junk food options, I guess, try and offer some good healthy options in there as well. So and drinks as well, of course. So
that's one of the things. Another one of my clients, they opened up next to a gym, and they offer all the high protein stuff like that. So they find the people that leave the gym, they end up going to there. So you've had some pretty big names like NBA players and stuff like that come in as well. Is that something that you continue doing? You keep networking out there to try to get people? It must be difficult getting players from the US.
Very tough. So we had an NBA trainer, DJ Sackman, come out. He's been out twice. And then the NBA players we had out, Cam Johnson and Carmelo Anthony, which was a big one. So that Carmelo Anthony experience was a challenging one. But it was, I look back and I think it was worthwhile. I mean, we got, Christian and I flew over to America and went to his house and got to meet him. Yeah, so that alone was a, once in a lifetime sort of experience, I guess. Being a big NBA fan, I still remember it's meant to be cleaning the house this Saturday, and I'm watching the New York Knicks play at the Garden there, and Melo just went off. And I remember I didn't get any cleaning done that day, but that was boy, that game. If you look that up on YouTube, it was a scoring record at the time. I think it was 62 points. So he even made a half quarter on the halftime buzzer. Everything was going in. So to then go to his house and meet him, and he did a bit of a signing.
So how does that even happen? Like, do you do a reach out like through an agent or something like that first, and then slowly the conversation starts?
Yeah, we just somehow got Christian and built a relationship with another guy, Chris, and that kind of took off, and opportunities just came up, and he kind of floated the idea, and you kind of sit there and pause and go, can we really do this? Like, fly to America to meet him to try and get him to come out. It's like, well, he's offering it, it's there, and we thought we would do it. And look, would we go down that path again? It's an expensive thing, hard to coordinate. I mean, if you ask Christiane if she was sitting right here now, she would say, no way, we're not doing anything like that again. But I guess you never say never. But having him out, the hardest thing is he's getting pulled in every single direction. So when he walks out, we were given, I guess, certain information on things he was going to do, and then the night goes a little bit different. And look, overall, I think the experience is great. From Ball 360 side, we couldn't have run it any better.
And from a turnout point of view?
People everywhere. But there's people that rock up at the door, and then they make a phone call, and then you get a phone call saying, oh, this person's coming, and just there's heaps more people rocking in. So look, overall process was, Ball 360 point of view, went as good as it could. A lot of people, we made the best use of the space that we could. Would we do it again? Possibly. Possibly not.
Never say never.
Yeah, never say never.
So how do you market in such an economy now that is thriving on social media? Okay, so everything is Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. How does Ball 360 constantly get the name out there?
Well, I did a little bit of marketing back in 2001. A lot of that is not relevant.
What you mean, like when I used to put items in the trading post?
So a lot of that is not relevant. Look, and I don't look after any of that. Christiane does a lot of the marketing and social media and stuff like that. It is time consuming. She's learned a lot as she's been on the go, and again come across people along the way, and they provide support and information, and you learn, and they give advice, and she does a pretty good job of it. I think I certainly couldn't do what she does. We just got to keep that online presence. We don't do a lot of other external marketing. So that's probably where a lot of the focus is. Whether we need to branch outside of that, I guess bringing NBA players out, stuff like that, that helps with your marketing and your presence.
Doing podcasts?
That probably helps too. Yes, stuff like that. So we'll continue to try and push that. And I'll leave that in KA's capable hands.
Absolutely. So what's advice for parents out there that want the most opportunity for their kids? What should they do? Should they reach out, make contact?
Yeah, look, as we discussed before, doing just your team trainings is the bare minimum. So if you want to try and get ahead, you need to do a little bit extra. So we can definitely help. If you're not sure what to do, just give us a call. We can certainly help with that. Group classes, private training, self-training tools, whatever it is, we can do all that sort of stuff. Even if you just want court hire to come down and work on your game yourself, we can do that sort of stuff as well. So there's other programs as well, the strength and conditioning side of it. I think probably in your soccer sort of side of it, that stuff's probably coming in a little bit more.
It is.
And that's becoming a really important sort of factor. So there's not just the basketball, it's that side as well. So you got to invest even more time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can help with all of that. That's exactly what we've built this on, I guess, and we'll help you with a smile on our face, I guess.
Something that I'm sure a lot of the parents out there would love to hear. Don't know if you've touched on it. Maybe you want to touch on it a little bit now. School holiday programs. Keep the kids off the iPads, keep the kids busy, keep the kids active.
Definitely. So yeah, we run heaps of those. I mean, a lot of them sort of go from about 9:30 to 2.
Yeah.
There's smaller ones there.
The parents want them to go from 9:30 to 5.
Well, I mean, they can do drop off and pick up as trying to make it easier. Parents still have to work,
Yeah.
So balancing that can be tough. But yeah, you can just ring up, book those programs. I mean, we've got girls only ones. For the first time that this school holiday is coming, we've got a domestic program. We've got rep programs. We're running smaller group classes aged by like rep teams. So under 12 masterclass, under 14 masterclass, trying to group similar athletes together to make it more competitive and try and speed up those learnings, I guess, in a coached environment. We also run, trying to think, birthday parties still run. We do lots of those.
Yep.
They run over the school holidays if you're looking for a birthday party.
I think birthday parties are a great one to keep kids not only just being active and instead of just sitting around eating pizzas or whatever, they can actually get out there and be active. But a lot of those parents that come, they'll see the facility. The kids will leave saying, "I love this," and maybe they're not into basketball, and then they start to get into basketball. I don't know from what age you do birthday parties and things like that, but I'm presuming sort of 10-year-old range. The little ones moving all the way up into teenage years, I suppose.
Yeah, well, we've done everything from a 3-year-old party to a 30th. So we can do any sort of party. I mean, we've got gear there we run a baby ballers class, which is for 2 to 5-year-olds. So we've got like all mini equipment, mini basketball rings, mini hoops, mini soccer goals, softball equipment, tennis, all that in the mini format. So we can pretty much handle just about anything, I think.
Have you got any, you don't have to give any names or anything, but have you got any sort of up-and-coming kids that have been coming to your facility where like they're really kicking some goals in the basketball space and sort of moving their way up through the ranks?
Yeah, definitely. Not sure if you heard of the name Luke Fennell. So he came on board as a coach for us, and he played juniors for Australia, and he's currently just signed. He's actually playing with Carmelo Anthony's son at Syracuse in college this year.
Right.
So
what he was here?
He was just a coach, did a little bit of training with us, and now he's...
How old is he?
He'd be 19 now, I think.
Awesome.
Don't quote me on that, but I think he's 19.
Yep.
So he's over there and
he's playing in the States now, playing in
the
college
States with Carmelo's son. So Carmelo, I'm sure, will be there in the front row cheering him on. Hopefully he has a successful season and can do well. So Syracuse, big club. Hopefully they can do really well. So that's kind of one guy. I mean, Luke's background, I used to, don't want to show how old I am here, but I used to play with his grandpa. And he was obviously on the tail end of his career, and I played with his dad for a number of years. So they're family friends. So it was good to see Luke go off onto bigger and better things, and we'll keep a close eye on him. I hope that he does well. But there's quite a few people coming through up and comers. Zion is another guy that comes regularly. Yep. He's playing Div 2 men for Sherbrooke. They unfortunately lost the grand final this year, but I've been keeping a close eye on him over the coming years.
What league is that in?
Big V League.
Big V,
yeah. Div 2 men. So we've been keeping a close eye on him. He comes all the time. He's there training. If he's not in the gym, he's training with AJ or training with Johnny, putting in a lot of work. So when you talk about the extra work, he's almost there every day, and he doesn't live nearby. He lives a fair distance, but he travels and he shows up.
That's awesome.
So, and there's quite a lot of people. You'd be surprised. Some people will spend more time than some of my coaches there, 10 to 15 hours a week, just working out, putting in the effort. And it's great to see. And they're the ones that you want them to do well and raise their game up so that you just know that all the time they spend at our facility is paying off, and they're getting rewards for their hard work.
Must be exciting for you to, like you said, you know there's some games coming up on the weekend, and you actually specifically start following games or teams or players that you wouldn't normally, but because they're a part of your community, they're part of the Ball 360 family, you want to see how they're going. It must be exciting for you guys to watch all that unfold.
Definitely. You're normally coaching the same people on a regular basis. So whether it's just in a group program for a term, or whether it's individually, a few of my individuals that I've been coaching have been with me for a long time. So you build that relationship up. I enjoy those sessions. Like, you just spend quality time with them. It's not just about working hard and trying to get better. It's also having fun while you're doing that.
Yep.
And I regularly talk more about, you're not just playing to win. Everyone, I'm a bit of white line fever myself in the younger days, to say the least. Everyone wants to win, but you're playing basketball because you like the sport, or assume you like the sport. So you want to have fun doing it.
Yep.
Again, you spend a lot of time doing it. If you're just down there and you're grinding and not enjoying it, I don't think you'll get the most out of it. Yep. If you're grinding and putting in effort and you're having a laugh and having fun, I think all that goes hand in hand, and you see better results.
And what about your own personal basketball experience? Where did you play?
Junior rep. I did not make a team growing up. Don't like to share that, but here we are. Too short, so I'm not even 5'9" now. I didn't grow till I was probably 18, so I was the third smallest in my year level in year 11 or something. So
had to rely on pace.
I was quick, and I had okay skills, like left and right. I could shoot a little bit, but I was just too small, no strength, and I needed a kilometre to get my shot off. So didn't play a lot of junior rep. Got asked to fill in actually in under 20s. Mate from school asked me to fill in. Dave goes, "Oh, look, do you want to fill in for my rep team?" And I was like, I've tried out for all these teams, and look, don't think I can play. He goes, "Look, you'll be fine. I've spoken to the coach. Look, all you got to do is, if you're open, shoot the ball. No worries." I go down there. We've only got 6 players, and I'm the 6th. So game was at MSAC. I still remember it vividly. And Johnny happened to be playing in that team. And I knew who Johnny was just from domestic basketball. Rocked up. He's a really good player. Like every time I rocked up, just watching this guy, he's running rings around everyone. So I showed up and he's on the team. I'm like, oh, here we go. This is going to be challenging. But we didn't have many players, so I was able to finish the season. Played a couple of seasons at Hampton Park there under 20s. We won Metro back-to-back, which was good. Great experience, especially from a kid that couldn't make a team. I really enjoyed it. And because I hadn't made a team, when my coach gave me instructions and things to do, you say jump, I say how high, like I'm all in. And even some of the drills we were doing was, he'd line, and you wouldn't do these drills today, right? But you might line up at the foul line, and he's going to roll the basketball at the baseline. You've got to go save the ball, and you've got to dive on the floor. And if you don't dive on the floor, get after it.
And everyone's scrapping, and there's elbows, and there's injuries.
You finish, yeah, you got core burn on your elbows and your knees. But, and I even did this drill with a guy not long ago who puts in a lot of effort. And same thing, and I did a demo on it once, and my knee took 2 weeks to recover. But he wasn't doing it right, and my body's not what it used to be, but I got down on that floor, and I showed him what I expected of him. So those sorts of drills stuck with me. And I was always dedicated to doing the best I could, knowing that I had missed out earlier. So that led into, we transferred over to Chelsea basketball in probably 2000.
Yep.
And was there for 10 years, played MMBL, which is a Wednesday night, highest level competition that I could play at that particular time. Really enjoyed it. We won back-to-back championships there in the MMBL. And then Chelsea entered what was then called the VBL. It's now called, been rebranded in the Big V. And Johnny's with me the whole time throughout this process. So we're now entering the Big V or VBL competition, and it's completely different. It is 4 12-minute quarters of the clock stopping. Still remember the first practice game. It's not even half time. I'm like,
you guessed.
This game is going forever, right? And it was just a bit of a change, I guess.
Yep.
But really enjoyed it. Came out with full stats and stuff like that. None of that was done in any of the previous games we sort of played. So it was all exciting, and that 2003 it was incredible. People from Chelsea would get behind us as we entered that competition. The crowds were big, and we were passionate. And those guys in that team, I mean, we were like a brotherhood. Some of the best years of my life were playing basketball down there with those guys. And Johnny was by my side there, and I was lucky enough, 2003, I won Player of the Month in June. So I think there was 18 teams in that competition. There were some imports in there, some really good players. And to be to win that award, I guess, was really unexpected and not something I ever thought I would achieve. I was lucky enough to average 31 a game for the month, made 25 threes, shooting at 60 or 65%, I think. So had one game of 9 of 11.
No point going in the key with all the big guys, right? Just stay on the 3-point line.
Yeah, look, I found it easier just to catch and shoot the ball than to dribble it anywhere else. So all my good games, though, we seemed to lose. So 9 of 11 threes, we lost to the team that I think won the championship that year. They were really good. I was just putting everything in the third quarter, 7 of 7 from the field, and look up and we're still down on the scoreboard. Like, how are we down? Like, everything's going in. And then lost the game by a bit. A couple of weeks later, we played Hume City, which is probably my best game ever in the Big V competition. 38 points on 13 of 17 shooting. True shooting percentage 91, which was, again, I looked at it from the point of view that I was a guy that couldn't make a rep team. So these achievements sit close to my heart, I guess, because I just couldn't get anywhere with my basketball. So
it's rewarding.
Yeah, but that was definitely my best year. It got a little bit tougher. We got some better players in. And was with Chelsea 2010. We won the championship. Tough series, 3-game series, 1 game won at home, lost game 2 by 2 points at Mornington, and was lucky enough to come back and win game 3 by 4 points. So, and that best of 3 series, I used to love that stuff. That even the series before against Keilor was a tough one. Yeah. So really enjoyed those times at the time at Chelsea, and then we were going up to Div 1. My coach recruited the best player from Mornington, the team we beat in the grand final, who kind of played my position. So I kind of looked and thought, I need to find more opportunity. Yep. And a guy, Johnny, had just gone to Keysborough, so he'd already been in my ear. That was the only year we didn't play together. So he was like, come on, man, come over. And the coach is ringing me. And Nath is just in my ear, come on, man, come on. And I felt wanted and like I could contribute there. And I went and played Keysborough. Didn't want to leave Chelsea. I've been there a long time and enjoyed it and loved it, loved the people there. Really hard to leave. And looking back, it was the right decision. So I was at Keysborough from 2011 to 2016. We made finals 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15. We lost the grand final series 2012, which was a tough one. 1 game, 1 away at Craigieburn. Only lost a couple of games in 2 years at home and happened to lose 2 in a row to lose that. So that sat with me for a long time. I had a lot of injuries. End of 2012, fractured my pelvis, had osteitis pubis, and found out I had hip dysplasia. So I had seven hip surgeries between 2012 and 2015. So probably only played 10 minutes of basketball, maybe less at the Big V level. And
things we do for sport, huh?
Well, I was still going to trainings. I was told my recovery process, and I didn't believe it. I was like, I'll be back quicker than that.
Yep.
I'll be back quicker than that. So I'm going to trainings. I'm like, if we make finals, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be ready. And not the way it worked out, but look, everything fell into place for me anyway. 2015 had the last one, and I probably never put in more effort into a season. Struggled physically just trying to get back to a level these young guys are running. Me and Johnny used to win all the running races. Now I'm sprinting my ass off to come somewhere in the middle, just beat the slow big guys, you know what I mean? So it's like putting this effort on and every day. And Christiane is she wants to buy a house. So we're looking for a house, and it just got to the stage where I went, you know what? I just give me 3 months. I want to put everything I can into this season. Absolutely everything. And the team got on board. And it was a journey I'll never forget. They all got on board, and everyone's getting to train, and all of a sudden we're all there an hour early, and we're running stairs, and we're shooting, and we're scrimmaging, and we're doing all sorts of things to get better. Training finishes, coaches go home, we're having shooting contests, putting ourselves under pressure to make shots, and we just put in so much effort. And that final series came, we finished 3rd. At the end of the regular season, we're playing the top team, Western Port, at Western Port. And everyone's picked Western Port to win, everyone. No one's given us a look in. So we win game 1 in double overtime. I made a good shot in the first overtime from probably 3 meters out. I couldn't get open first shot, and first score of the first overtime was just go straight in from a long way out. I was pretty pumped with that. Didn't do a lot else throughout the game, but that one I'll remember. And look, the team played so well. Game 2, we led all game. led the whole game. They hit a shot with probably 15 seconds to go a point up. We've shot 50% from the foul line. And I speak to my kids that I train a lot about this. Foul shots win games. We missed probably 17 foul shots. We come down, 3 seconds left, tough shot, misses, we lose. And you look back and you go, geez, if you make 3 more foul shots, you win the game.
You must give those stories to the younger kids,
all the
right?
time. Got to make them.
So they realise how important it is, because at the time it may not seem that significant, but
I mean, 17 foul shots. If you make 5 more, you win easily. You know what I mean? So we come back the next day after losing that game, and it can go one of 2 ways, and you just think, well, what's going to happen here? But in the back of my mind, and even the coach's mind, and I'm looking at the import, the music's playing in the warm-ups, and he's smiling and laughing, and coach is like, we're right here, we're good, we had a deeper bench. We went really deep. They didn't go so deep. So playing big minutes one day and then coming back playing big minutes the next day was fine for us.
Yep.
Not so fine for them. So we went on to win. Great process, and that was kind of almost the end of Keysborough. I come back for one more season, 2016. We went up to Div 1. But yeah, it was time for me to. Would have loved to go another couple of years, but like I said, those kids were kicking my butt in the races and showing me how it was done. So
Father Time was taking
so
control.
upon reflection, to play 14 seasons at Big V and have that experience and a couple of those, a couple of championships and win a personal award, and that 2003 I was nominated for All-Star 5. So coming from a guy that didn't play rep till under 20s, I felt like I certainly got the most out of what I could achieve. And when I look at people coming through the door to train with us, the odds of them playing in the NBA or WNBA are so little, and that's for anyone.
Yeah.
Same for the NBL. The percentage is just so little, but it doesn't mean that you can't enjoy the game of basketball, that you can't go places with it. I travelled Australia playing basketball, mainly through university games, and now I'm in a basketball business. Yep. So had my mate not asked me to fill in, and I meet Johnny, and then I ended up marrying his sister, and my life's probably a lot different. So that whole journey's been great upon reflection, and it's one I'll never forget. And having to call time on it, even though I'm not a high level professional player or anything, for me it's what I enjoyed doing, and I was passionate about it. It was hard to not do that. And then when Keysborough come in and they start training in our facility, and me and Johnny are coaching sessions and looking over and going, geez, I'd love to be running up and down that floor still, and the competitive practices and just that whole process.
It doesn't go away up here, does it?
No, those competitive juices are still there, which you might have experienced on Wednesday night in the Ball 360 team there. So, and I'm only able to play one night a week with my schedule at work. So I play Monday night also on the Ball 360 team with a couple of players that play in your team. So
yep.
I still love it and I enjoy it. I'm not as serious as I used to be on the floor, that's for sure. But yeah,
a little bit less white line fever.
Definitely. I haven't had a tech foul in a long time, so and that could not be said when I was in it.
My brain still thinks I'm 20, and then I go to do something, and I remember that I'm 44, and it ain't going to happen.
The amount of times there's a cross-court pass and I take off, I think I'm going to steal it, and I'm about a metre short. I go, 20 years ago I would have got that.
Absolutely. You touched on brotherhood in terms of, and I mean this with any sport. You and I both played basketball when we were young, and this is something important for some of the younger viewers out there. Not only will you create potential lifelong friendships, but the amount that we can learn from sport in terms of preparation, looking after your body, being on time, listening to authority, being a part of a team, playing in an environment where it's not just about you. This isn't tennis, like playing basketball or playing footy or playing soccer. It's about your team. I can speak from experience that it's life-changing, absolutely life-changing. Not only have I still got an interest that keeps me fit and that I want to continue to be involved in, but even just friendships and the amount that you learn over time. So it's a really important one, I think. You talk about brotherhood, and it is. It becomes family. And sport, for a lot of Australians is massive, like a huge part of their life. So I love that you've got that story as well. And what you're doing with Ball 360 is continuing that community feel. I love that.
Definitely adds to it. And sport can provide those things. I love that you touched on that. Things like showing up on time.
Yeah.
if you're playing in a rep game and your coach says to be there half an hour before and you rock up 25 minutes before, that might cost you your spot. But what that's teaching you is that when you've got a job in the workplace, you need to show up on time. So I found a lot of those skills I got from basketball, and I still try to apply today, I guess, and try and communicate that to the younger generation and say, hey, you need to apply yourself. You need to be dedicated, but you also need to have fun while doing it. You need to enjoy yourself. So you got to have the serious side. And you also got to have that other side as well to take the edge off.
So how can people get in contact with Ball 360? Where do they find you? What do they do? Where do they go? Who do they call?
Well, we're located in Cranbourne West, just off the Western Port Highway. Really accessible. We love our location. We get people from Casey, Dandenong, Chelsea, Western Port, Mornington, all over. So easy to find us.
And easy to get to,
Yeah. You can give us a ring. Our website's got information. Easiest thing, just give us a call. We can sort you out. If you've got questions, we'll help you.
Yeah. Well, I'm loving what you're doing. I'll do everything I can to keep plugging the Ball 360 name. I'm always telling kids that I know and parents that I know about your facility, and and this is what I love. A lot of them, when I tell them about it, they already know about it,
which is fantastic.
That's great. I love hearing that.
And then once they walk in the door, you're gonna see one of us fall. So whether it's me, Tan, Johnny, Kay, you're gonna see one of us, and we'll make you feel welcome, make you feel a part. We'll definitely make you want to come back. That's for sure.
I love it. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep putting out those good vibes. I'm going to keep doing the same for Ball 360. See what the future holds for Ball 360. I'm sure you got new stuff on the horizon and things that you're always working on how you can make the facility better, how you can offer different offerings, how to improve things with people. So just keep doing what you're doing a great job.
We will, mate. Thank you.
Thanks so much for listening in to today's pod. Please don't forget to follow us on YouTube. Drop a comment. The more you engage with the page, the more we'll get seen, the more people will follow the page. Then I can keep getting great speakers to come on here, other entrepreneurs like Steve, who are doing all sorts of amazing things with their businesses. So please find us on Apple if you're listening to podcasts, or Spotify. But of course, YouTube is one of the main ones where you can actually watch the pod as well. So thanks so much, and looking forward to seeing you at the next episode of the Scottie G Show.